Hey guys, welcome to Samco Workshop. Jason here. Today we're going to talk about selling your vehicle online. Many people wonder how this works. It's a very easy process, but there's a lot more benefit to it other than just selling your vehicle online. So let's kind of break it down a little bit for you because I have done this before and it is very productive. So how does it work? Sell a vehicle online. What does that mean? So let's say, for example, you are looking for a new vehicle and you're wondering what your options are to get rid of your old vehicle. Okay, you got an old truck, you want to buy a new truck. What do you do with your old truck? Well, you have a couple of options. You can trade it in, you can sell it yourself, or you can sell it online. Well, let's talk about these two first here, because one of these can, there's pros and cons to both. First, let's talk about the trade-in. If you just go to a dealership and you just say, hey, I want to trade this in, how much will you give me? The number you get may not be that impressive, might be disappointing, and different dealers will vary tremendously. Okay, you have to take that into consideration. But you don't know until you actually go to each of these dealers and do this stuff. Now, I will say that a lot of dealers now today, because I refuse to go into a dealership other than to sign paperwork. Okay, every vehicle I buy it over the phone, talking to the guy, and through text messages. I only go to a dealer when I walk in. I meet the sales guy for the first time, shake his hand. Hey, where's your finance guy? Brings me right over to finance guy. I sit down, sign, done, walk out the door. The guy hands me the keys. I'm out of there. Okay, I don't play around at dealerships, but many of them, when I start talking, hey, I have this vehicle for trade, this kind of stuff, they're like, well, bring it by. And I tell them, no, I'm not bringing it by. I'm shopping prices on these vehicles. If you tell me what you need. Do you need me to email them to you, or you need me to text you the pictures? And then I will send him all of the pictures of the vehicles, all the details he needs, all of the VIN number, everything like that. He can give me a trade right over the phone. Okay, he can give me a trade allowance, or what he's going to give me for trade, telling me whether I want to do business with that dealer or not. There are other benefits to these that match up with this, and this can turn into this too. So we'll come back to that. Okay, that's coming. So don't rule that out. But trade-in, that's how that's going to work if you want to do a trade-in. That's a little free tip I gave you there that I don't usually give out. But it's pretty easy to do that, to get that trade without driving dealer to dealer, and you wait and you go through all the BS while they check your vehicle out. In the meantime, they want your phone number. They want everything about you. They got to go through all this crap. And, you know, it takes a half hour at every dealer that you want to go to. I can do it right on the phone. Sell it yourself. Sell it yourself is always the best bet. It's where you're going to get the most money. That's what I did quite a bit. The downside is the government does not want you to sell it yourself. Okay, they are against you selling it yourself. They don't think you have that right to. And there is a whole lobby group and organization of dealers and everything that have part of this. They get a lot of government back for this so that they can make it where it's too hard for you to sell it yourself. For example, you want to sell a vehicle yourself, first you have to pay that vehicle off. Once you have the vehicle paid off, you're going to have to get a title, and when you get the loan release letter, you got to get the title in your name. That can take, since COVID, where it used to be 10 days, now that can take 45 days to get that title. Then you're able to sell it. Most people don't have an extra 30 or 40 grand laying around to pay off their vehicle and then sit there with no money, put all that money in it and wait for it to clear, wait that 45 days for the title and a loan payoff letter and all the stuff they got to get, and then try to sell the vehicle. Okay, many people don't have that option. Dealers and government know that. Otherwise, they know that nobody would trade in. Everybody would sell it themselves if the government didn't make it so hard to do it. Well, they do. They make it very difficult. Now, you go back even 5 years ago, might only been a 10-day wait, so you could actually sell the vehicle yourself, get the check from the guy for the vehicle, you pay it off, you get the loan release and the title stuff and everything cleared up, and then he picks it up 10 days later. Okay, and people would do that. Okay, so there were options, but not everybody would, but there were options. Now, selling it yourself is hard. Plus, many states now have tax incentives for you to trade in. Again, a dealer negotiated thing here, but like here in Georgia, if with my Tacoma, one of the reasons I did trade it in, with that Tacoma, when I trade it in, the value of that vehicle is deducted from the amount of the new vehicle I buy, which means I only pay tax on the difference. Okay, since I've already paid tax on that Tacoma when I bought it. They take the value of what it's worth now, remove that amount from the value or the cost of my Gladiator, and I only pay tax on the difference. So there's a big incentive in there. About $3,800 was the incentive difference for me. So big time deal there. So again, that goes towards trading it in. Okay, but if I were to sell it myself, I don't get that. If I sell it myself, the person who buys my vehicle pays all their taxes on it again. Okay, but I have to now pay all my taxes on the new one I buy. So they make it very hard to sell it yourself these days. If you can do it, it's still probably worth it. But it is getting very, very difficult to do. Very few people do it. So we're going to kind of rule that one out of the equation here. But I wanted to bring it up. So we know trade-in, you can talk to different dealers and see what they are. But you can better arm yourself before that. How do you do that? Here. And you can also just bypass this and say, forget it. Say, for example, the best deal you worked is at a dealer, but yet they're going to give you $2,000 less for your trade-in here than the other one will, but they won't buy it for that price. That's only if you trade it in there, but they're not giving you the deal on a new car. You're kind of in a pickle because you got old luggage you got to dump and you want to buy new luggage, okay? So it kind of gets tricky. How do we solve that? We research selling it online. Okay, we have some simple ones here. Carvana, I'm going to rate it at about a number 3, okay? Or like third in line. CarMax, number 1. Okay, Edmunds, and I'm going to put this at a 2, and I'm going to put KBB at a 2, because they both work the same way. So what happens here with this is, so when you want to sell a vehicle online, we'll use CarMax. No, we use Carvana, because Carvana is the one everybody goes to, and it's pretty simple and easy. You go to Carvana.com. There it is. Pops up. Sell my vehicle. You hit it. You type in your license plate and your state. Computer crunches. It pulls up your vehicle. It's going to ask you a few questions. How many miles are on it? Okay, does it have a premium sound system? Do you have premium wheels? Did you have off-road tires? Did you upgrade the suspension? Has it ever been smoked in? Does it have any warning lights? Okay, you go through, how would you rate the exterior? How would you rate the interior? Good, bad, maybe. You just click through the things, and then you go ahead and submit. And literally right then, pow, it pops up and it gives you an actual number. Let's just say, for example, that number that came in from Carvana was on whatever vehicle, let's just say it was $30K. All right, that's what they said they'll pay you for it. Now you go do it at CarMax. Same thing. CarMax comes back and say they'll give you $32,800. Okay, or 35. Well, they say $35,800. Okay, that's a beautiful number. We like it. We'll stick it. Okay. Edmunds. Now, Edmunds and Kelley Blue Book work differently because what they do is, see, Carvana and CarMax has locations. So you'll bring it to a CarMax location if they're in your area when you want to sell it there. Carvana has places all over, but sometimes they'll come pick it up from you, or you bring it to a Carvana location. They have these little locations that you can bring your vehicle to. I have sold a car through Carvana. It was super easy to do. It was so easy. And they gave me top dollar for it too. It was my Jeep Renegade, my 2019 Renegade. And but I called them up, or I did the thing on there, and everything went perfect. And they said, great. And then a guy called me and said, hey, this is the closest location for you. What day can you be here? We'll set an appointment. I set an appointment. I drove there with the car. He walked out, did a quick walk around the car, opened the door, looked at it, checked the mileage, went back in, signed a title over. He gave me my check. I walked out the door. I immediately went to the bank, deposited a check. Everything was done, and it was about 13 minutes. I mean, it was that easy. Okay, so real easy. CarMax, same thing. You go right into their dealer. They do the same exact thing. Edmunds and Kelley Blue Book, they work a little differently. What they are going to do is they're going to take that same information, how many miles, does it have a premier audio, it's going to do all this stuff. Then what it's going to do is it's going to submit that vehicle to dealers around your area. Then each of those dealerships are going to call you and say, hey, we want your trade, or we want your vehicle, and it's going to be, are you looking for a new one? Are you this? And it's kind of more of a process, but you're getting that deal from all your local dealers, almost like you would do if you had to drive around and check or call these guys. Edmunds and KBB kind of do it for you, so it's kind of a nice feature. I usually don't go that route, though, because I want an instantaneous number rather than dealing with 10 dealerships calling me and having to argue with them, and not argue, but constant back and forth, and no, I'm not looking to buy another vehicle from you. I have one picked. I'm just looking to dump my vehicle. We don't do that. Or, well, yeah, that, and then they give you a price that's lowball, or hey, bring it in. I can only quote it if you bring it in. It's a lot of BS stuff involved in it. It's basically like a way for the dealerships to get you on the hook. But it may be a good bet for you, okay? There's a lot of people that love this setup. Me personally, Carvana, CarMax, Drive Time is another one that does it as well, too. Okay, there's a lot of these that do. Drive Time is always super stupid low. Drive Time is disappointingly stupid low. So I don't even bother with it anymore. But when you do this, okay, what you get is, so we end up doing this, so we called these ones, and there's other ones out there. Vroom used to be a really good one as well too. And my mom also sold her compass through Vroom and got a good, it was better than any of the other ones. So you got to kind of weigh these, you know, you want to call around and check them, okay? If you Google sell my vehicle online, all this stuff is going to pop up. Open one up, start entering your numbers in. But these are your main ones that I think are the most popular and the most credible and that kind of stuff. And like I said, Vroom is good too. I haven't looked at Vroom in so long, I don't know if they're still even going, but that's Vroom is another one. VROOM, Vroom. Okay, but so these are basically what they're going to do. But so now we have this. So for example, I'm thinking, okay, well, CarMax wins at 35,800. That's the number they gave me. Perfect. Not only is that an option where I could call them up and say yes, and I could just sell it right to them. Before I do that, it's my deal, the dealer that has the truck. Okay, so we got a dealer for our new one. Hey, this is pretty impressive. Look at that. I wrote that pretty dang good for being sideways like this. But our dealer, where the truck is that we are buying, we know that we are buying from this dealer. I'm going to screenshot this image from my phone, and I'm going to bring it to this dealer. And I'm going to say, hey, just so you know, I know that your trade-in wasn't that good, and I respect that, whatever you guys decide based on your inventory and how things work. But this is what CarMax is going to give me, and I'm going to bring it to them and sell it to them immediately. But if you want to match this, then I'll give it to you. It makes no difference to me. I know your number you gave me was lower. Let's say that he came in at 28, okay, is the number he gave you? Because he doesn't think you're going to do all this. But let's say he gives you a number of 28. You come back with this number, you would be surprised how many times they're going to go, you know what, we'll do it. We want to keep you as a customer. We want to make you happy. The less work I can make happen for you, the better it's going to be for you, the more you're going to appreciate me, and I want to be your dealer for life, blah, blah, blah. But he'll jump on it, he'll take it. And then he takes it from you. But you got to have proof of this. So you screenshot it right off your phone, or you take a picture of it on your computer. Say, here it is. Look, expires next week. Okay, that's usually good for 1 week, the offer. But here it is, right here. Okay, the whole thing's right here. They're going to give me $35,800. You give me $35,800, you get the vehicle, and you can sell it for whatever you want to. If you don't want it, no sweat off my back. I'm still buying yours, and I'm just going to go give it to CarMax. And sometimes they'll be like, yep, we'll take it. So there's ways that this all works. So hopefully this gives you some pointers on how to sell your vehicle online, how to get the most value out of your vehicle when you're trading it, and how to not let anybody convince you that your old baggage is going to affect your new purchase, because it doesn't have to. You do not have to trade your truck in at that particular place. Now there is a catch to this. Okay, the catch. When I told you about the trade-in benefits of the tax credit, okay, where you're going to get your when I traded in my Tacoma, I got the value of that Tacoma removed from the amount of my new purchase, and I only had to pay tax on the difference. Again, here's where the government gets you. The dealerships lobby to government. Government sets these laws, okay, and dealers are shady. But this is how this works. A dealer network and the automotive groups do this, but the only way to get that tax break is to trade your vehicle in at the dealer you are buying it from. So keep that in mind. So let's say that the difference, let's say you were trying to get it for $35,000. So let's just round it and say that was $2,800 worth of tax credit that you would get taken off, okay, because of the value of this vehicle. You would have got $2,800 off of your new purchase if you do it at that dealership. If you take and sell it here, you don't get that, and now you have to pay the full amount of taxes on yours. So make sure that this difference, okay, that $2,800 is going to be more, make sure that your sale price here is going to give you enough money to counteract what you have to pay here versus what you got on your trade-in tax at that particular dealer. And it also means that you cannot trade it in at another Ford dealer and buy a vehicle at another Ford dealer and get that same tax incentive, it doesn't work. It has to be at the exact same dealer. Again, shady government, but that's the way it works, okay? So you have to do the trade, to get that trade-in equivalent, you have to do it at the dealer you want. So why we bring that up, you're going to tell your dealer where you know you are buying. This is it. You know you are buying this truck from this dealer. It's guaranteed. That's a done deal. When you tell him, here's my CarMax one, and then here it is right there. They were at 28. Do not be surprised if he says, no, we can't do that much, but we're going to come back and we're going to give you 33 for it. Okay? You're going to be like, nope, this is better. No, it's not better. This is better because you get the tax break of another $2,800 on top of that. And when you put $2,800 on there, you're about right there. Do you think that happens by accident? Do you think that it's just a fluke that it ended up that way? No. It's that dealership having you by the short and curlies because he knows that he's going to come out. He's going to tell you, well, we can only give you 33, but remember, if you trade your vehicle in here, you get a tax break. That tax break's going to save you about $2,800 if you were to sell it here. So it's almost the same thing. He's right. It is almost the same thing. But they get a steal of a deal on a vehicle. You get the matching numbers. It works out the way it is. Yes, the government just, slaps you on the butt and, gave you a big wet willy kiss in the ear, whatever he did. But you're getting screwed over by the government here because of their stupid rules. But point being, that tax credit is going to be used here. Okay, so it works out. So stuff to think about, things to put into perspective when you're doing this, but this is basically how that whole process works. I hope it wasn't too busy or out of whack for you, and if you have questions, dump them in the comments. Okay, thanks for watching.